Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1981 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Oakland Athletics and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Athletics is Rick Reuschel, whose record is 3-10 with a 5.31 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Garry, whose record is 2-5 with a 3.95 ERA. And so we had a great victory yesterday. We won 7-6 with the game-winning RBI coming from Sweet Lou Whitaker in the 8th inning. We were down early, and we fought our way back with home runs by Jason Thompson, his league-leading 19th home run, and then Alan Trammell hit his 14th home run. And Tigers are still, unfortunately, 8.5 games back. We are keeping pace with New York and with Baltimore, who might be running away with the division at this point. If we were in the West, we would be perhaps tied for first or maybe second place. But unfortunately, we have all these great franchises that we're competing against here in the East, and it doesn't look good, but we've got to keep fighting. That's not going to keep us from doing our best, and miraculously, we're playing against Rick Reuschel today, who, of course, is a former Tiger who just could not put it together for us. We traded him to Oakland earlier before the season started, and hopefully Garry, who's pitching today, can keep it together. He has a 160 opponent's batting average against Oakland so far this season. So we'll see if he can keep up that pace. And all the bullpen is available today. We did send one of our worst pitchers to the minor leagues and brought up George Capizzello. So Keith Comstock riding the bus in AAA, and Cappy is back. We put him in long relief, but he might, if he's pitches well enough, we might work him up back into the setup role, which is where he was earlier with those 6 saves before he completely lost control. Here is our lineup against Rick Reuschel. Alan Trammell still listed as tired, but we're going to keep him in there. We can't afford to have our best players out. And Bobby Ramos, back in the starting lineup today, catching for Garry as we give Parrish the day off. Let's go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the A's. Batting leadoff and playing center field today is Rusty McNealy. Batting second and catching today is Ed Putman. Batting third in left field is Tony Brewer. Batting cleanup at third base is Kevin Mitchell. Batting fifth and in first base is Joe DeSa. Batting sixth in right field is Mike Davis. Batting seventh and DHing is Kelvin Moore. Batting eighth and at shortstop is Tony Phillips. And batting ninth at second base is Mike Edwards. Garry, oh man, he has been kind of rough lately. He's lost his last 2 starts. He went 6 in his last start, giving up 1 earned run, but he did give up 7 hits. Before that, he got crushed by Baltimore. So we're hoping to get a good start from him today, making his 10th start of the season, 2-5 with that 3.95 ERA, 22 walks, 22 Ks. Opponents are batting .263, and that 8 1/3 innings pitches is close to a complete game, as he's been all season. So, all right, there is the Detroit defensive alignment. Take a look there with Ramos behind the plate for Ujdur today. And leading off is Rusty McNealy, who had 4 hits in yesterday's game. And there's hit number 5 for the series for McNealy, bringing his average up to 234. He also had 3 stolen bases, 3 out of 4. He did have 1 that was caught stealing yesterday. Runner on first for Ed Putman, Putman had a home run against his old team yesterday, and there's another stolen base from McNealy. So McNealy, head-to-head with Henderson, is one behind him on the season now with 31. And then Ujdur throws a curveball to Putman, who lines out to Trammell at short. There's one down. For Tony Brewer, with his 313 batting average, now 5th overall in the American League, and McNealy steals another base. So, wow, McNealy now tied with Henderson. We're going to pull the infield in. It's early. We'll take a chance. And Brewer pops it up on the infield. Trammell makes the play. No, actually, that is going to be Brookins at third that catches that ball. 2 down, McNealy at third for Kevin Mitchell, who hit his 13th home run in yesterday's game. Ground ball, base hit. And that's going to score McNealy from third. And it's 1-0, Oakland. Next up is Joe DeSa. We mentioned yesterday, and I wanted to verify it, but yeah, Joe DeSa was killed in a in the preseason with the Brewers when he was in Puerto Rico right before the season started. He just signed a new contract with them, and before he could report to spring training, he was actually killed in an automobile accident in Puerto Rico. As he grounds out to Ramos, and that's going to do it for the top of the first. A's get the early lead, 1-0. Here is a lineup rundown for the Tigers. Rickey Henderson batting leadoff, playing center field. Batting second at second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting third at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting cleanup at first base is Jason Thompson. Batting fifth and DHing is Reggie Jackson. Batting sixth and in left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting seventh and catching today is Bobby Ramos. Batting eighth in right field is Garry Hancock. And batting ninth at third base is Tom Brookins. On the mound, former Tiger Rick Reuschel. Traded earlier this year. He was 1-1 with us. He's 2-9 for the A's, which makes me feel like we made a pretty good deal there, getting rid of that hefty salary. And the A's are on the hook until 1985. He's 2-9, 3-10 overall. Pitching a little bit better for the A's, 5.16 ERA, 60 Ks and 89 innings pitched. It's pretty decent. Opponents are betting 288. He's got 2 complete games and a shutout now with the A's. So here is Oakland's defensive alignment. Left side not so great, with Kevin Mitchell at third, and in left field is Tony Brewer. Yesterday, who was that in left field? It was Glenn Burke. So a little bit worse defensively today. Here's Rickey Henderson. Had a solid game yesterday. He is on a 7-game hitting streak, including, let's make it 8. There's an infield single. He's got 2 home runs in those 7 games, and he had 2 stolen bases, 2 out of 3 yesterday. And we are going to have him run against Putman. Oh, he pitched out, and he's caught stealing. So he's 2 for 4. The greatest base stealer in the history of mankind. And Sweet Lou pops it up on the infield. And then Trammell pulls it to left, caught by Brewer in left field, and we go to the top of the second. Here's Mike Davis leading off against Jerry Ujdur. Ujdur hits a lazy fly ball to center. There's one down as Henderson makes the catch. Next up is the DH, Kelvin Moore. Moore popping it up on the infield. It's going to be caught by Tommy for the second out. Next up, Tony Phillips. He's also going to pop it up on the infield. Caught right on the third base line by Brookins, and we go to the bottom of the second. Jason Thompson up, 19 home runs on the season. And here he walks. Runner on first for Reggie. Reggie rips it down the right field line. That could be a double. Do we want to send the slowest runner on the team home? He hasn't even hit third base yet. And there's no outs. We're going to say no. And both runners are in scoring position for Kirk Gibson, whose batting average is right at 300. We're going to let him swing away against Reuschel. Ground ball to short. Thompson scores, and they go to third to get Reggie. That's weird, but we'll take the tie. It's all tied at 1 with Gibby on first and 1 down. We're going to have Gibby try to steal second, and Gibby is successful. That is stolen base numero 7, or sete if you're Portuguese or Brazilian. Runner on second base. Here is Bobby Ramos. Ramos, we love Bobby. Fly ball in the left center field. A little too far this time. Yes, we're going to have him tag up. And Gibby is safe at third. Runner on third now. It's a go-ahead run with Garry Hancock up. Hancock is up to 288 versus righties. Ground ball right at the first baseman, DeSa. That's a third out. So the game's all tied as we go to the third inning. Number 9 hitter, Mike Edwards leading off. Ground ball right to Sweet Lou. 1 down. Back to the top of the lineup for Rusty McNealy. This guy has owned us. Here we go. There's a lazy fly ball in the center. We'll take that. Caught actually by the left fielder, Gibby. 2 down. Ed Putman hits it right back to Ujdur, who tosses it over to first. For the third out, we go into the bottom of the third. Tom Brookins will lead it off. Tommy betting 263 versus right. He's had 2 hits yesterday and slams it to right. Unfortunately, right at Mike Davis for the first out. 1 down. And we're back to the top of the lineup for Rickey. Henderson hits it right to the second baseman. There's the second out. Let's go bring up Sweet Lou. Sweet Lou takes his third strike looking. That's the first K for Reuschel today. And we go to the top of the fourth. Tony Brewer leading off. He's got a home run against Ujdur this season. Here he hits it to Sweet Lou for the first out. 1 down. Let's go bring up Kevin Mitchell. 2 for 3 with a walk against Ujdur. And he's going to bloop it in for a base hit. Falls right in between everyone. That's the third hit for the A's. Runner on first for Joe DeSa. Oh no, he crushes it on a line drive 388 feet to left center field, and the A's take the lead 3-1. Back-to-back games for Joe DeSa as he hits his 8th and 9th home runs now. Mike Davis up next, hits it right back to Ujdur for an error. Okay, this is not looking good. Ujur's on. Error gets Davis on first. Next up is Kelvin Moore. Moore pops it up on the infield. That's going to be caught by Tommy Brookins. 2 down. Tony Phillips up next. Oh, he shoots it down the left field line all the way to the wall for a triple, an RBI triple. And it's 4-1, Oakland. Mike Edwards hits a line drive to short. That's going to be the third out. So Tigers are down 3 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. I would be personally very disturbed if we lost to Rick Reuschel. This is a guy we should be crushing as Trammell flies out to center field. 1 down. Here's JT. Thompson, line drive, gets right past the third baseman Mitchell for a double. There we go. Let's get one of those runs back here. Reggie Jackson up next. Ground ball right to third base. Come on. Anywhere but there. Thompson holds. We need a big base hit here from Kirk. who's been really struggling. Ground ball to second, and Edwards makes the play. So we're going to the fifth. 4-1 Oakland. Ujdur only at 62 pitches. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Rusty McNealy. McNealy pops it up to second. There's one down. Next up is Ed Putman. Putman, weak ground ball to short. 2 down as Trammell tosses him out. Okay, here's Tony Brewer. Brewer, wow, laces it to center. Caught by Henderson. Easy 1-2-3 inning for Ujdur. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Here's Bobby Ramos facing Rick Reuschel. Ground ball to short. Ramos down to 453 overall now with that out. Next up is Garry Hancock. Ground ball to third. Mitchell makes the play. It's going to leave it up to Tommy. Tommy, ground ball to second. We're making Rick Reuschel look good. That's how you know you're not a contender. If you can't make Rick Reuschel look bad, your team has flaws. Mitchell leads off the sixth by grounding out to third. Let's take a look at the in-game stats. Is there a Tiger that deserves player of the game so far? Maybe Thompson with that double. He also walked, so maybe he should be considered. One down for Joe DeSa, hitting it to Whitaker, who fields it cleanly, throws him out. It's going to leave it up to Mike Davis, who flies out to right center field. As Hancock makes the play, we go to the bottom of the sixth. Rick Reuschel only at 65 pitches, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Only 3 hits given up, shutting us down. Henderson grounds out to third. I was going to mention this in history today in baseball. In 1992, Robbie Thompson was thrown out 4 times in one game by Bo Diaz. So whenever I feel bad about Rickey Henderson getting thrown out, I always look to these caught stealing issues. And Robbie Thompson was thrown out 4 times in one game, which is the record in baseball. Here's Trammell. Hey, there's a base hit for the so-called sleepy shortstop. Runner on first. Here's JT. 1 swing of the bat to get us back in this game. Wild pitch by Reuschel, sending Trammell to second. And then a ground ball right to short. Phillips makes the play. We're going to the top of the 7th. So it's still 4-1. Kelvin Moore leading off against Ujdur. Moore popping it up. Caught right behind second base by Trammell. There's 1 down. Next up is Tony Phillips. He's got a hit today. Here he sends a weak fly ball into left center field. There's 2 down. Finally, here's Mike Edwards. Ground ball to Brookins. And Brookins tosses him out. I don't know if you saw there, but Ujdur, now listed as tired, makes it through 7. That's going to be it for him. We're going to need to rally here to get him at least a no decision as Jackson strikes out. 2 Ks by Reuschel now. Next up is Gibby. Gibby, base hit to left field. There we go. 5th hit for the Tigers. Do we want to go for 2? We're down 3 in the 7th. We're going to say no. We're going to trust Bobby Ramos, who's been pretty good so far. Runner on first. Ground ball right back to Reuschel. The only play was to get the lead runner, Gibson, at second. So 2 down. Runner on first for Garry Hancock. Hasn't hit a home run in like forever. Base hit to center. Do we want to? No, it's not worth it. 1 swing of the bat from Tom Brookins will tie it up, and Tommy has a 45 slugging percentage against righties. take a look at his splits. All of his home runs are versus right-handers, so why not let him swing it? Swing! Base hit to left field. And a run scores. It's 4-2. Good job by Brookins. RBI single to left. And that's going to bring up Henderson. As I mentioned, he's got 2 home runs in his last 7 games. 2 for 6 against Reuschel. And a base hit to left. Oh, it's going to be caught. I thought that was going to fall in as Brewer makes the play. And we're headed to the 8th. It's 4-2, Oakland. Ujdur done for the day. His ERA is still under 4, which is kind of impressive when you think about it. Okay, we're going to ease Cappy back into it, having him face Rusty McNealy. First game back for Capizello. Let's take a look here. He hasn't been all that great. Last year he was unbelievable. 4-2 with that 5.40 ERA. 6 saves. He's got 1 blown save. Opponents are only batting .208. And lefties are actually hitting better than righties. So let's see. If he gets the first batter here, we might let him face the next couple righties here. Rusty McNealy up first. And he bloops into left center field. Is that going to fall in? Oh, it's going to be caught. Nicely done by Gibby. There's 1 down. Okay, let's let him face Putman. Oh, he rips it on an inside pitch into left field. There's a runner on first with 1 down now. And here's Tony Brewer batting .348 versus lefties. Another inside pitch, and he scorches it to center field. High and deep, caught 5 feet into dead center field. That's going to bring up the 19-year-old Kevin Mitchell with a runner on second. Putman tagged up and took second base. That's ridiculous. And now a wild pitch moving Putman to third. I almost want to walk Mitchell to get to DeSa. But we're already down 2. Why not? There's a ground ball to first. Thompson makes the play. And they're going to bring in a new third baseman. They're going to bring in Mickey Klutz. Best name ever, perhaps? Mickey Klutz. Basically defensive replacement and a pinch hitter. Not doing that great offensively. And no errors so far at third. So maybe a good move. Let's see here. Bottom of the 8th, Sweet Lou leading off against Reuschel. Reuschel now at 94 pitches. Fly ball into right center field for Whitaker. He's 0 for 4 on the day. Next up is Trammell. Weak ground ball to short. There's 2 down. That's going to leave it up to Jason Thompson. And Thompson pops it up on the infield. Oh my gosh, could Reuschel get a complete game? Oh, there we go. Hey, look at that. Unbelievable. Klutz drops the ball. And now we've got a little bit of a rally going here, maybe. As Thompson stands on first base for Reggie Jackson. Come on, Reggie. This is the time right here. Rips it to right. Too hard. Caught by the right fielder, Davis, and that's going to be the 3rd out. Reggie Jackson, come on. That guy's got 1 home run all season. We're going to the top of the 9th. Lefty Joe DeSa will lead off. He's batting 104 versus lefties. We're going to let Cappy face him. Ground ball to Thompson. 1 down. Here's Mike Davis striking out looking. Let's go leave it up to Kelvin Moore. Limited at bats versus lefties, but he's 500. Here he flies out to Gibby and left, and that's going to do it. So we're down to our final 3 outs. Come on, guys. Let's wreck Reuschel. This is ridiculous. Got a couple lefties due up. Starting with Gibson, 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI. Total inside pitch. Low and inside. Oh, high inside, my bad. And he swings anyway. Fly ball to right field for the 1st out. Next up is Bobby Ramos. One of 2 Tigers that does not have a hit today. Ground ball to second. That's going to leave it up to Garry Hancock. 2-out rally. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing to lose to Rick Reuschel. That's going to do it. Wow, we lose 4-2 to Reuschel. Egg is on our faces. That is about as bad as it gets right there. Let's take a look at the standings. Yep. We've now fallen to 9.5 back as Milwaukee edges in front of us. And we're on the verge of being 10 games back. That's like no man's land. Once you get to 10, it's pretty much done. We'd have to get over 4 teams, and that's not going to happen. Let's take a look here as the transactions are showing that the Yankees extend Dave Wermeister, I believe, is a reliever to a 4-year deal. Let's take a look at him. Yep. A closer who's, he started the game last year. But overall, not very impressive. But they're going to give him an extension. Ed Whitson out for a month, which is essentially the whole season. And then Pat Darcy of the Sox retires. So that's going to do it. Let's pull up the box score and get the hell out of here. A terrible loss, 4-2 to Rick Reuschel. I guess we should pat him on the back. Who's the player of the game? Is it JT? He got a hit, scored a run. He also walked. Ujdur did not pitch poorly. Thompson did have a double. We're going to give it to JT just because who else would we give it to? Bobby Ramos, by the way, took an 0 for 4. Maybe he's going to start leveling out. And that's going to do it as, Henderson got caught stealing again. That might have been the beginning of the end right there in the first inning when he was caught stealing. All right, we're coming back tomorrow, Game 3 of the 4-game series. Until then, everyone, have a great night.